In order to improve the quality of your graphs, there are a few tricks. So once again, insert a movie, and you can see that the movie I'm using was filmed in slow motion. This is a good trick, whether you film a real life object or whether you film a simulation. It's good to have it in slow motion because this improves the frame rate. You can see here, I'm playing the movie, and while this movie's been going on for maybe 3 or 4 seconds now, the timer in here is only at 0.9 or 1 second. So this is filmed in slow motion. I can put that back to the beginning. Once again, I am going to have to set my scale. So I will click on the ruler and I have to set a scale just like before, and I'm going to set that to 1 meter. The next thing I'm going to do this time though is click on this button here. This is the Set Origin button. No, it's this one up here. Hover over, and this is the Set Origin. This time the mass is in the middle, and so I want, you can see the dotted line here is the middle, so I want my origin to be in this middle, and this is now the point I'm going to be clicking on my mass. So once I've clicked on the origin, that is good. The next thing I want to do is, if I usually go to this button now, this will advance 1 frame at a time. The problem is, this will only move a tiny bit, and so you can see ever so slight inaccuracies of where I put my cursor. Shows very big inaccuracies in distance. So I would much prefer it if this mass went on several frames at a time. So I'll reset this up and show you again. Beginning, I'm going to reset my origin as here, but this time I want the movie to advance several frames at once, and so the distance I'm recording is bigger. So in my options and my movie options, I have several complicated things, but down here you see advance the movie, and instead of 1 frame, I'm going to put 10 frames every second, or every click. Once I've done that, when I go to my tracking option, and I will start from here, you can see the mass moves 10 frames, and this is a much greater distance the mass moves, and so it's much easier to track what is happening. Finished my tracking now. So when I have a look on here, once again I've got Y and X information. I'm not interested in the X because my mass was going up and down. You may be, depending upon what video you're using. So I'm just interested in the Y. So this shows my Y distance, and you can see it's a lovely and even track, and it's also starting at the origin because those are the 2 things I wanted to do. I can also have a look at the Y velocity here, and you can see I'm beginning to get mistakes in here, and so the better your use of frame rate and the more accurate your clicks, this will smooth out. The final thing I can do is I can have a look at more options, and I can have a look at the Y distance and velocity at the same time on my graph, and I can start comparing both of these. This is now beginning to look like a good piece of motion analysis.